Hey, what's up, y'all? This video, I'm gonna talk about addiction. And see, I always had a party vibe, and it wasn't like, I had to go run across town just to go feed my addiction, but it was just more, I just like to party. I like to have fun. That was my reasoning behind it. Um, for a long time in my life, I didn't have a job. You know, I was in the streets, and so I didn't know the effects of partying because I party and my job was in the street, so I had no effect. It wasn't until about a couple years ago, not even that, like it wasn't until yeah, a couple years ago, I started to see the effects of me partying and then going to work. Cause say I was scheduled second shift, it was hard for me to show up to work not like intoxicated or up there, and so it started affecting my work to the point where I didn't know how to handle it because people were saying I was doing this and doing that. And I'm like, I'm not doing that, I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? So all this was occurring in my life, and it really affected me and it made me lose jobs. But during them times, I wasn't tripping about losing no job because I was like, man, I could just go back to the streets. You know, like I don't care to lose a job. And so my God was having mercy on me, and He was letting me go through them phases. And I moved like to a whole different city, fresh start type of stuff it was supposed to be, and I continued doing what I was doing, and I started to lose a job during critical times to the point where it caused me to be homeless again. And I like when I was homeless, I was like, man, I might as well keep partying then. You know, I didn't really see the effects. I didn't see everything. You know, and so then I got back on my feet, got a house, you know what I'm saying, and living lovely. And I stopped partying again. Like I got the job and I was like cool for like 2 weeks. But then I was like, let me see, because the person I was living with, they was partying, and so it was kind of hard to stop, And so I said, let me see. And then I kind of messed that up and started cutting my hours because I was showing up. They didn't believe in me like they did the first day, first week, second week. They stopped believing in me, the job. And so I lost that job, boom. And then my girl go to jail, boom. It was just depending on her for a minute because I was like, man, I got to get myself together. I can get clean. And she go to jail, so then now I'm in a situation for real, right? So, but I'm clean. I'm able to get clean. Like the obstacle, someone being here and making it seem fun, the party. You know what I'm saying? Is not here. You know what I'm saying? So, and don't get me wrong. Like I love my girl. I love my girl to the fullest, unconditional. Like this is what I should do a video on unconditional love, like for real. And me and her unconditional. We done went from the lowest to the low, back to the top, to the lowest to the top, to the low to the top. You know what I'm saying? And we able to learn each other and understand that, man, if it's me and you, like we gonna make it through. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to adapt to a lot of situations. She didn't know at first, but I had to teach her how to adapt. And now she a dog. Anyway, so I was dealing with these addictions, and so she go to jail, and landlord talking about he gonna sell the house in 2 months. So now I'm here 2 months rent free. I went and found the job like I seen, and now it's like go time and show time now. But in my mind, I start drinking a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I start drinking a little bit, some beer. I ain't drinking alcohol, but just some beer. But I'm the type of person that a drink all day and be like, oh yeah, I could have a couple drinks before work. Like, I'm gonna be fine. And I'm like, nah. I really had to stop myself. Now, I ain't started this job yet, but I really had to stop myself and realize that, no, this is the same thing that brought me to destruction. I can't do this no more. This is the same thing that brought me to destruction. And so I'm seeing all this, and I grab all the beer out the refrigerator and I throw it in the trash can. I'm talking about, it ain't a whole lot of money spent. $10, it was like $12, 15 pack. But threw it all in the trash can, man. And yeah, I ain't worried about the money, man. I'm worried about my future. You know? And so, hey, this cat's messing with the blinds. But anyway, so I threw it all away, and that was a big move for me because, like, once I get on the ball of drinking and stuff, like, I don't know how to do it right. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I realized living sober, your mind is much clearer. Like, my mind is much clearer. I ain't gonna speak for everybody else. Like I'm a functional person who party, but it's just with the jobs, like, you can't be that way. You know what I'm saying? So I realized, like, I'm way more clearer in my mind. My eyes is way more open. I'm way more active. You know what I'm saying? I'm way more active. I'm doing push-ups, doing sit-ups. You know, I'm way more active. Like, and you know what I'm saying? I'm doing projects. You know what I'm saying? And so these is the qualities. And for one, I keep a job. I'm a hard worker regardless. When I was going there partying, I was still hard working. It's just I was partied up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like, I realized, like, my future, my life is way better, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying, what Gorilla said, I want to shop on Shein. Yeah, I'm trying to shop on Shein, man. I can't be out here without no job. Like, I ain't going back to the streets. That's over with. You know what I'm saying? I done signed my life off for that. You know what I'm saying? That's over with. Like, I'm a working man now. And that took me a minute. That mentality that I can't just go back to the streets, that took me a good minute. My girl got me out the streets. But I was still like, man, I could just go to the streets. Man, I know who I am. But I had to strip that mentality away. You know what I'm saying? I had to strip it away. Because before her, nobody was around me telling me that the streets wasn't cool. They were telling me, hey, man, why don't you go get a job? But that's about it. But my girl, man, she said, man, what kind of life is it without a job? What you mean? Like, she was really coming at me, man. She was coming at me a lot, to the point where it really stripped it down and made me understand, like, well, like, you know what I'm saying? And she in jail right now. You know what I'm saying? But she was going to do her cycles of trying to get up out the streets too. You know what I'm saying? And she's close and she's there. I believe so. Like, you know what I'm saying? And stuff, she just had a problem with free 99. That's all. And sometimes, you know, people with jobs, and she had a job, but that free 99 stuff is hard to strip from you. Like, I ain't got no problem with no free 99. Like, I don't do that. But I understand the addiction. You know what I'm saying? When you got money in your pocket, but you show up somewhere and you just like, man, I don't want to spend my money. Like, I get it. Because I used to do that. You know? But, so yeah, these addictions, man, you got to let them go out of your life. You got to take these addictions out of your life. You got to not let them be there, because you're going to be a way better person. You're going to succeed way much more. Like, that's what you got to understand. You're going to succeed way much more. And your life is going to flourish, man. Like me, man, I leave these stuff alone like I did. I threw it in the trash can. I ain't think about it. Took the trash out, put it in the other garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything going to be fine, man. Like, I learned that my life is much greater, and I don't want to fail no more. Like, I'm not no failure. Like, when I was in the streets, I was not a failure. You know what I'm saying? So now that I'm off of the streets, I'm not going to be a failure either. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm not going to be in a situation that I don't want to be in. That's how it always been. Like, that's why I ain't got no grays hair, you know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't aged like that, because I ain't live no stress-free life, and I live a stress-free life because I ain't gonna be in no situation I don't wanna be in. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't gonna change nothing. Me getting a job ain't gonna change nothing. I'm still gonna be in stress-free life. I ain't like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, everybody get off your additions if it's messing you up. And if it ain't messing you up, just think about what it is. Cause like I said, when I went to jail, I came out super clean, like 2 years clean. And my mind was so sharp. I wrote like 5 books. I mapped out a clothing line. All that, man. I was like out of this world, alien coming back to my state that I feel from. You know what I'm saying? So just think of the possibilities. Maybe you don't know the possibilities. Maybe you ain't never sit down before and been off of it. I don't know. But just think of the possibilities that you could do if you get off your auditions. All right, y'all. Love.